Okay, welcome everybody. A little bit of a different intro here. Already got the smooth jazz going, right? So, Sunday came around, got a few more days left of the year, and I've decided that I'm going to sit down and do my year-end recap. Unscheduled, of course, because I can't be bothered. And, of course, I got to wait till I feel okay, which today, I got to admit, today I felt great. But it is what it is. So we're going to do the recaps for Twitch. We're going to do the recaps for YouTube. Yes, I do have coffee, even though it's late in the day. It's almost past my deadline for late coffee. I do not do coffee after 4 o'clock if I can at all possible. However, it's 8 minutes till. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is Thorn with the Game Design Lexicon. Today we are doing our year in review for 2025 with all of our recaps. So this year I have done a lot. I've done a lot as far as games and putting out stuff. It's been a lot. It's been a bit. I don't really know what to say about it. It's like it's one of those things that I choose to do because I don't really have anything else that I do productive in my life. And, I appreciate the people who show up. I appreciate the people who watch my videos on YouTube, more than you can possibly imagine. It's like, when you hang out on communities that talk about, how do you grow? How do you do better? How do you get 1 million followers? They always tell you that, never really work for the numbers. The numbers are just kind of an illusion that you shouldn't pay a lot of attention to. And I've kind of taken that to heart in some senses. I do this because I like to do it. I like to play games. And I'd be playing them anyway. I'd just be playing them offline if I wasn't streaming them, right? So one of the things that streaming gives me an incentive to do is, first off, it gives me an incentive to be a little bit more thorough with a game that I play, in reading the instructions, doing research about it to make sure that I know more about the game and how it was produced, and what I need to do to play it well, etc., etc., etc. It also allows me to connect with people who are of a similar mind. If it's a fairly popular game, I meet. Not at my current channel size, not a ton of people, but I do meet people who have similar interests, which is great. I like doing that, even though I don't stick with any one game too long. So let's take a look at this real quick. Now, as far as I guess I'll wait until I get to the end of it, but let's start off with Twitch. The YouTube one looks a little weirder than last year, so we'll see how that goes. So, Twitch 2025 recap. This year we came together like never before to stream, hang, and co-create. Let's recap, shall we? Anyway, man, my viewer stats are going to suck, dude. So one of the things about Twitch is, when you're a creator, and other creators kind of understand this, you don't really have a bunch of time to watch other creators. And while I do have a very small group of other creators that I try to make sure that I frequent their streams when I can, I don't really have a lot of time to do that kind of thing. I'm usually working on my channel or doing other stuff, or streaming myself. So, I don't really find myself as a viewer participant very often. So, our stream 600. So, and this is in the last year, I've streamed 626 hours, which means on an average of 2 hours a day, approximately a little less than 2 hours a day, right? 198 total streams, which is more than half the year, which makes sense because I stream 3 days a week, and then I have extra streams, right? Distinct days streamed, 183 days. So 198 streams in 183 days. I guess there's days that I guess there would be days that I stream more than once. Doesn't happen often, but I guess it does happen. So total hours watched. Is that how many hours that I've watched other people's streams, I guess? Doesn't really explain it, but I guess that is what that means. Now, 742, that's pretty nice for, like, you know, me just telling, dude, this is bothering me. The three thumbs is bothering me. Anyway, yeah, I'm in night mode today, so you'll have to suffer with my Luma key. I don't really want to turn on my lights because my eyeballs are going to fall out if I do. Top categories. Looks like Fallout's probably going to be up there for a while. I played that forever. Earthbound, I did play Earthbound all the way through. I did play Monster Sanctuary all the way through. Spiritfarer all the way through. Astroneer, I'm kind of surprised that that's still up there. I played it for a little while, but not a bunch. But number one is Monster Sanctuary, which makes sense because I did spend a lot of time on that one, and I did really enjoy playing it. Same with Earthbound. I was happy to have experienced it for the first time on this channel. I've probably tried to play it before when I wasn't streaming, but never really got through it. A few games like that, actually. Like, I plan on playing, what's the other one? Let's see. I do have on my short list Undertale, which I'll be probably playing on channel soon enough. I've started Undertale. Didn't get very far because it didn't really look like something I'd like, but of course, needless to say, I've been encouraged to play it on stream since I've been streaming. Again, another thing that streaming does is, like, if I start playing a game offline and I find that I don't really have a taste for it, then I may just kind of stop and not bother, right? Because that's, I have other games I can get to, better games, right? In this case, in the case of streaming, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to be a little bit more encouraged to play games that I would normally not stick it out for, and in a lot of cases, in some cases anyway, I'd find out that I was incorrect in that assessment. So end up playing it a little further, and I've never played Undertale, and I mean, the reviews can't be wrong, right? So your top stream reached 6 viewers. So here's the thing. When it comes to my Twitch, I use my Twitch to generate content for my YouTube. My YouTube has, and of course, I thought, well, I was going to be primarily a streamer, you know, live in front of a studio audience, as I always say, and let's see, where was I going with this? Live in front of a studio audience. However, my Twitch really hasn't grown. I haven't really stumbled upon the secret on how to make sure that my Twitch grows a little bit more. I'm not inherently a social person, so you know, it's like, it is what it is. So I use my Twitch to generate content for YouTube, where I post all of my old content over on YouTube, and it does well over there. It does a lot better on YouTube than it does on Twitch. So there's that, you know. Top tags, these are kind of silly. These are the tags that I always have on my streams because I always speak English. I play a lot of retro games, and I am LGBTQIA plus friendly. As far as myself, if you have ever wondered about that, I'm heterosexual-ish. It's kind of really hard to explain. I don't really look at sex when it comes to who I date, I guess you could say. It's not as important to me as it is to other people. So you could probably say I'm like pansexual or something like that, even though I've dated primarily girls throughout my life. 4,087 chats received. What does that mean? How many messages have been sent in my chats? If so, I guess that's a lot. I mean, not really. I should get out a calculator here. Let's see. 487 divided by So that is approximately 11.2 messages in chat per day of the year. If I were to take it and do it by how many days or how many times I streamed, then it's approximately 20.8 messages per, or 20.7 messages per stream, which is, like I said, kind of pathetic. I appreciate all the guys that all the people that come, all the guys, girls, and anyone else who comes around on my streams. But I don't do a lot of business on Twitch for some reason. As a matter of fact, one wonders why I haven't pretty much moved completely over to YouTube, stream on YouTube instead of Twitch. One main reason is because, first off, Twitch is just more custom tailored for streaming. And I have more utility on Twitch than I have on YouTube. I have streamed on YouTube before. When I started out, I streamed primarily on YouTube and then moved over to Twitch. Did a little bit of dual streaming for a while. And then decided that just Twitch was generally more accommodating towards a live show. So I stayed on Twitch and just used that. I started off by downloading my VODs and then processing those into YouTube content. Eventually, I started recording locally because I didn't enjoy the quality of the Twitch VODs. And that's where I am now. It's pretty weird how it's evolved. Starting off full YouTube streaming, and then full Twitch streaming, and then moving those over to YouTube, and then eventually the 30-minute format that I've come to now. So my biggest fans here. Now this is going to be pretty fun. So, X-Man should be at the top. I'm not sure why, what order this is in. I think when I looked at it before, it was completely different. Of course, Talion, of course, Nullwinter, of course, Retro Homebrew. Lucky Luca pops in his head every so often. I haven't seen Grey Noise in a while. But then again, I've kind of not been watching his content as much as I used to. He's another streamer. I found him off of, I believe, Reddit. But he streams exclusively, not City Skylines. What's the other one? One of those city simulator games that I don't play a lot of. So it's a bit samey. So while I might stop in every so often, I haven't lately. And SGBYOU. I don't really see that person in chat a lot. But I see them pop into my stream a lot, which is really awesome. Coffee Z, I haven't seen Coffee Z in a while. Man, it's fun how these people like come and go, and yeah. Anyway, raids received 2 in the last year. I've received 2 raids. I remember one of them was from shit. Who was that from? I know one of them was from Lee-Cross. That one was recent. And then another one was from a guy whose stream I still subscribe to him. Who is it? Will Game for Food is the second guy that streamed, that rated me. And he rated me because he was playing Knights of the Old Republic, and so was I. Even though I stopped playing it because it was hard to capture. So those are the 2 raids that I've gotten in the last year, and I remember both of them. How about that? Yay for memory not deteriorating. Unique clippers. I don't even know what that is. I know you can make clips. I don't know if anyone's made a clip of mine. I guess I should check that. You could see if people made them, right? I don't remember making clips of my stuff, but I do all my clipping and shorts and stuff on YouTube because that's all permanent media, and the amount of media that's retained on Twitch is extremely limited, so I don't bother with retained media on Twitch anymore at all. So any of these stuff that accommodates that, such as the clips and whatnot, I think I have a few clips left over from when I did it a long time ago to figure out what it does, but nothing else. And the 3 thumbs is still bothering me a lot. Like the flaming keyboard I like. The 3 thumbs. Ooh, the glass hearts are kind of cute. The 3 thumbs. At least it has 4 fingers. But yeah, whose fucking alien hand is that? Hype happenings, new followers, 54. So this is kind of fun. If I've gotten 54 followers in the last year, it does mean that my channel has grown by like a third in the last year. Because I mean, I started off, that would have started me off last year with a little under 100 followers, right? It does say new subscribers won. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't have any subscribers, and I've never seen anyone subscribe to my channel. And I'm assuming that it would have probably alerted me had that happen. Not to mention, on top of that, I don't think I can get subscribers without being an affiliate, which I'm not. The affiliate stat I seem to miss by average viewers. So one of the things about my channel is I'm usually at 0 to 3 average viewers per stream. Like right now, I'm actually kind of up. I'm kind of higher than I am. I'm between about 1 and 2 right now, if you look at my stats. And I need 3 consistently to make affiliate, and that's the only stat that I can't break because I don't have enough people come to my stream regularly. So if you're watching this and you have time, I definitely would say, by all means, come and hit up my stream. I mean, and I know a lot of people don't have time, and I stream at a really weird time. It's like if you work in the daytime, there's probably no way that you can catch my stream unless you could do it at work. And I do have a few people who do that. They'll watch it while they're at work, which is awesome. Awesome. So there's my recap. New followers, 54, 742 hours watched, new subscribers, that's not even true. Top categories are kind of weird. Because I know there's games that I've streamed since all of these that I feel like I've streamed enough of this year to be like Fallout. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that one hasn't fallen off at all. That one I played forever, like forever. Earthbound lasted a while. Monster Sanctuary lasted a while. And I guess Spiritfarer did. Out of the top 5, I'm kind of surprised those are up there still this year, but I don't remember earlier this year as much. 198 streams, 4,000 chats received? I thought it was less. What? Oh, no, that was right. Okay, never mind. So that is it. Viewer recap. So, that just went all bright on me. Made my face look all washed out. This year we came to... Wait a second. So the streamer recap. Let me go back to this real quick. So does that mean that I got 742 hours of people watching my streams? I thought that was the other way around. I was thinking it was 742 hours of me watching people, but that does sound excessive. I can't... What is the meat stick here? And the fucking health pack? Dude, sorry. You can see how my mind works. That's just kind of throwing me. 742 hours watched. I guess 742 hours of people watching my stream. I guess that's what that means. It doesn't really explain it more thoroughly. But let's go ahead and just assume that. So let's go to the viewer recap. Remember, let's see. So, okay, yeah, this sounds more correct. 61 hours watched. That sounds about right. Distinctive days visited. The amount of days that I've spent watching stuff on Twitch. Dude, these graphics are killing me. My top categories. So... I just mentioned so Gray Noise. If you want to wonder whose stream I've watched the most while I've been sitting around, Gray Noise, because he streams City Skylines, right? Chat, just chatting. That is that would be Rich Rain. He pops into the stream. I'm surprised he didn't end up on my top viewers since he pops in quite often. Now. The other 3, Pharaoh, Majesty 2, and Project Silverfish, are going to all 3 be Lycros. How about that? So Lycros basically got 3 of my 5 top watching categories. Isn't that amazing? So I do watch Lycros' stuff a lot. Lycros, and listen to me brain fart here. Talion Dath. We hang out in a Discord. We hang out in Talion's Discord together, and we're always talking. So I hit his stream probably the most out of anyone, which is funny that City Skylines is tops because that's, like I said, Grey Noise. I've definitely watched a lot of Grey Noise's stuff. So anyway, your favorite streamers, Grey Noise, most watched channels, hours, 12 points earned. No idea what that is. 12 hours. So I tied Likros and I've tied. So Rich Rain, watch him quite a bit. Bone Masher, he's pretty awesome. He plays a lot of retro stuff and some modern stuff. He has a little, I love his, he's I guess you could call him like a VTuber because he has like a VTuber model, but it's just this little mushroom Goomba guy, and his mouth moves with him. It's funny. Techno Conqueror. I started watching him for a while. Don't really hang out that much with him anymore. Oh, what? Okay. So, clip that. Clips made to your top viewed clip. So did I actually clipped my own content? Because that's me. Obviously playing Monster Sanctuary there. Clipped by the Game Design Lexicon. Clipped on the Game Design Lexicon. Get tips on making clips. Maybe I'll do that more often since I just got a message saying that they've improved clips. So who knows? Maybe I might use that function more. It's just, like I said, I do pretty much the bulk of that sort of interaction on YouTube because that's where I get the bulk of my permanent views, right? So I use the clip function on YouTube. I don't even share the clips that I make on YouTube, but I keep those for later because I personally use... God dang, dude, my glasses are so goddamn dirty. And these little rags that I use to wipe them with just seem to be making it worse. So, yeah, I do all my clipping on YouTube. I use the clips function on there that I don't share them. I just use them to eventually draw on for shorts. And then I post shorts, right? So, that's that. Chat badge unlocked, yes. Share your recap. Not a lot of detail on that. But congrats, Grey Noise and Likros, for tying for first place. Looks like I did watch more of Grey Noise's stuff. 12 hours. It's kind of pathetic, I know, but, you know, I gave you my excuse. Streamers don't necessarily watch other streamers as much as a viewer would because they're busy streaming, right? So, not to mention on top of that, I really hate to say it, but I'm just generally antisocial, so it's hard for me to push myself to be social in that sort of aspect. But I try. It is the community that I choose to be around, so I do find people that I enjoy their company, and I'm around them. If they're easy to be around, then I'm around them. So community. I don't even know what this is. Don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. Don't know what that is. What is all this shit? This is stupid. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Kai Sanat, no interest whatsoever. If it's a popular streamer, I think there's like maybe a couple popular streamers I might watch. Like shit, I can't even think of their name. They're so not in my mind. Usually I watch them on YouTube, though. I watch their permanent videos. So that is it. That is my Twitch recap. Now I am going to go over to the YouTube recap here. You guys get to see my YouTube and my Firefox subsequently. Let's go ahead and pause the jazz music because I think this one has audio, right? And it's, made for a fucking cell phone, obviously. Like, thanks, guys. This year, you explored many things. Retro games, there you go. Funny animal videos. It doesn't have all the gun videos that I watch. Let's see, Lee Crosa's stuff. That's nice. Mortismal Gaming, of course. I watched the most of his stuff. Talion. Oh, Talion made the list of tops. Nice. I'm happy about that. I do watch a decent amount of his stuff. Top 4% of viewers. I watched 41 of their videos. I watch all of Mortismal's stuff. His stuff is awesome. It's one of the larger ones that larger creators I always watch. Retro gaming. So on my Game Design Lexicon channel, I only watch gaming content, mainly. I do watch funny animals, and I do watch stuff on like guns and stuff like that on it. That's it. Everything else, like political content, whatnot, I watch on my personal channel. So you're interested in how technology works, tech reviews, old computer systems, gadget history. Dude, the music is kind of hip though. What is all this? You match nicely with one personality type. Ready to see which one? Sure. The Wonder Seeker. 18% of people. You're drawn to awe-inspiring content that shows extraordinary skills you've watched. Thanks for giving me time to read it, asshats. Let's look back at some of the moments. Focused on gaming culture. You watched a lot of videos about game history, reviews, and discussions. Well, duh. It's my game channel. Oh, Timothy Kane. That's awesome. So, Graham Norton, sure, I watch a lot of Star stuff, a lot of media stuff, even though I watch a lot of that from my other channel, too. Fantastic moments, oh, animals and stuff, Outback Facts, I don't even know what half this shit is. Is it gonna talk about my actual, like, content that I've produced? Because this sucks. This is all talking about content that I consume. And I remember last year's recap being a lot different. Top games, Monkey Island. I watched all of Talion's Monkey Island shit. I played Satisfactory for a while. This is all watched stuff. What about streamed stuff? Quote movie lines at the inappropriate times? That's just me, dude. So Talion made my top channels. That's awesome. That's awesome. But then again, I don't watch a lot of content on my... I watch, like I said, mainly gaming content on that. And that's it, huh? Give me a second. Let me take a look. Because I'm a little disappointed with that. Let's see. Let me switch over here so I don't accidentally display anything that I'm not supposed to display. And let me see if there's anything that I missed, because I thought that there would be some form of recap for creators like there was last year. YouTube creator recap? Maybe? How to find and share your YouTube recap? No, that's what I just watched, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Huh. So, yeah, Bupkis and Bullshit. So, they don't have the same type of recap they had last year. So, I tell you what, let me pull up my analytics, and we'll just go over my analytics. How about that? How about that? How do we like that? So, analytics are going to look fun here. So, let's go back over here. So, analytics for the last 365 days. So, this is kind of interesting. Let me blow that up a little. So it looks a little bit more readable on screen here, right? One more. There we go. So, let's go over my analytics here. Real-time stats. So this little real-time square is pretty much what I go by constantly. There's one other stat that I look at over here that really matters, right? So, of course, I'm constantly looking at my subscriber count, which I shouldn't be doing. That's, I don't know. Oh, wait a second. Where'd my music go? Boop-a-doo. Okay, get my cool jazz going back here. Down some more coffee. So I do like watching my views in the last 48 hours. This seems to bob between about, I would say it bottoms out at maybe 200 on average and tops out at about 2K Now, the bulk of those views are going to be my shorts, and we'll be kind of going over that. You'll see that in a moment here. Now, top content for the day, for example, short, long form. I'm actually surprised my Y alarms is getting that much attention. That hasn't been the case. So the other stat that I look at the most is normally when this is set for 28 days instead of last 365 days. And I look at my subscribers. So in the last 365 days, I am at positive 194 subscribers. So I've gained pretty much the bulk of my subscribers in the last year, right? So I'm currently at 366, right? I've gained almost 200 of that just last year, right? So my last year has been some pretty much the I guess you could say that every year my growth has gone up, right? So, and of course you can tell this by this graph, right? One of the big things that you can see by this graph here, and this is my views graph, right? So my views graph, you'll notice that right around May, everything starts getting higher spikes, right? Everything up until that point was pretty low, getting about, I don't know, anywhere between 50 views to, 150 views on average. And then all of a sudden, I start getting these huge, like 1,000 spikes, right? And if you're wondering what that is when I instituted shorts. When I started reliably releasing shorts once every... I started off at once every 3 days, and I'm currently at once every, 3 every week is what I used to release at the beginning, and now I'm currently releasing 5 every week to clear my backlog. I don't know if I'm actually making progress on it. I have tons of clips that I've yet to process into shorts, and anytime you see these tall spikes, these are when one of my shorts takes off, right? So 1,700, 1,500, 1,600. I think the tops I've seen I think the tops I've seen my live count at is about 2,100 approximately. So, and remember, other than shorts, I do release 3 other videos a day. Let's see, watch time. Now, the end of the year, and you can see this over here too, right? You'll notice in the middle of the year, my watch time is substantially higher than it is like right now, right? From what I understand, and this happens every year, of course, I've only had 3 years to view this. December and January, usually starting about October, November, view time starts going down. Watch time is how it's affected. Like the fact that I got, well, I guess it's kind of hard to judge by the 355 or 365 day metric, but my watch time is substantially lower these last few months than it has been. Like if I were to do a 90 day, here, I'll show you. So you'll notice on my 90 days, like my subscribers are down 29%. That's not that bad. My watch time is down 39%, right? Despite my views being up. And the reason why my views are up, again, shorts. It's because I instituted shorts, which is getting me a lot more exposure, which is really nice. Exposure translates into maybe the YouTube. Kind of sidetracked here. Maybe the YouTube recap last year did suck. Maybe I did this exact same. I need to rewatch last year's recap. Maybe I should have did that before I did this year's recap, so I could have them kind of consistent. Who knows? Maybe I'm just doing the same goddamn thing anyway. Anyway. More coffee. Man, I woke up this morning feeling like shit. I had to take a nap before I even did this. So, yeah, like I said, you'll notice middle of the year, everything looks great. Beginning and end of the year, not so great. That happens every year from what I understand. And it's not like just me. The streamer communities that I hang out with primarily on Reddit and Discord, they all pretty much concur that this is normal. That having a lull during the holidays, like starting right before the holidays, and usually lasting all the way until mid-January, sometimes as far as February. People just consume less content during those times of years. No idea why. And then subscriber count. Now this has been steady. However, you'll notice that I got a lot of dips there near the end of the year, huh? Of course, it's getting higher. I thought that it'd be increasing gradually, that I would be at 500 by now, but I'm not. When I reach 500 subscribers, I'll reach my last metric for basic earning on YouTube, which would be nice. I start trickling in tiny amounts of money from that. Anyway, yeah. So views. Let's see. Wondering if there's anything else I'm missing here. So when you look at my 365, you'll notice that all of them are shorts at this point. My highest short being almost 2,000 views, which is kind of amazing. Shorts are just weird. Like a lot of people have weird opinions of shorts. Like when I first started contemplating them, I started looking at more reviews or more people talking about them on the communities that I hang out on. And a lot of people are of the opinion that all they tend to do is skew your stats, which they do. They skew your stats horribly. And look at that, the new Wild Arms that was just released today at 11 o'clock has gotten no views. So I'm surprised that the Wild Arms is appearing. That other Wild Arms video is appearing on my top 48 hour views. So, like, wow, it's Zach McCracken one. Hey, Likros, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you were here earlier when you, I think you arrived after I finished my Twitch recap, but my Twitch viewer recap has you tied for my top channel that I watch all year. So it was between you and Gray Noise, and I don't watch Gray Noise as much as I do anymore, but you're pretty much my top watched streamer on Twitch. Not that that's a lot, it's like 12 hours worth or something, it's like some piddly amount. I don't watch a lot on Twitch, but when I do, it's you. And Talion made number 2 on YouTube, which is awesome. Just goes to show you that the amount of gamer content that I consume on both of these platforms is kind of pathetic for somebody who streams gaming content. Shorts. So, I had this conversation on one of the neurodivergent subreddits that I hang out on. Somebody was talking about underwear, and we were, of course, the question of hygiene came up because I think the conversation was that they didn't like wearing underwear, and I think my parents started us out on briefs, and tidy whities just didn't really do it for me, and I've switched over to boxer briefs a long time ago, and they've just been the way to go. Boxer briefs gives you the best of both worlds. They're snug like briefs, but they're all-encompassing like boxers. And of course, if I can give any people a piece of advice on underwear, get some expensive ones, man. Get some really nice underwear. It'll last you forever, as long as you take care of it, obviously. People who stream don't really have time to consume content themselves. And yeah, I brought up that point earlier, for sure. People who stream are too busy streaming and not consuming content, even though I got to admit, I probably consume well more YouTube content than I should. But mine, like I said, the bulk of my content that I consume is on my personal YouTube, and that's mainly art, media, politics, all the Marxist crap that I watch and stuff like that. Anyway, so that is my overview. I don't know if I should go over these other ones here content here. So we're still on the 365-day view. Videos. So I haven't done a live broadcast in forever, right? I've done a few posts over the years, but I don't post on that nearly as much as I should. Again, you can also see where short content picks up right about right before the middle of the year. Oh, also, welcome to the stream, Lecros. I hope your day is going well. This is my impromptu year-end review that I've been wanting to do now for probably a couple weeks. Since we only have a few more days on the year, I figured that I'd just kind of suck it up and do it. So, is that different? Oh, no, okay. I don't know why it does subscribers 54 for my shorts. Does that mean I've gotten 54 people from my shorts? If so, then hurrah, you know. A lot of people, again, when I decided that I was going to do shorts, I started paying a lot more attention to what people said about it. And one of the ones that I commonly got was that short views don't translate into subscribers, which frankly is bullshit. There's no way that cannot be true. Like, it's boosted my visibility exponentially, as you can see by the graph in front of you. Let's see, I need to do one of those too, just on the... Yeah, exactly. Mine's been on the back burner for a while because I knew I was going to have to stream an extra day. And I've been in the middle of an exhaustion fit lately. So, like yesterday, I slept probably most of the day, which sucks. And I almost did it today, too. So today I woke up at like 8 o'clock and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it today. I got everything ready. And then by about 11 o'clock, I was like, no, I'm exhausted. I'm going to take a nap first and see if I feel like it when I get up. And I did. So I'm here anyway. Right. I wonder what so the all button, new viewers, regular viewers, everything's a 0. So yeah, I guess that is from shorts. So from shorts, I've gotten 54 new subscribers. From videos, I've got 105 new subscribers. I mean, that's just awesome. That's awesome. I mean, there's no way those shorts cannot be worth it. I just watch my videos when they come out. I watch them on 2x, so they go, twice as fast. And I clip shorts. So I've made and I've started processing a month at a time. So I'm currently on processing October's clips into shorts. And man, October was a banner fucking year for clips. Let's see, I think short viewers definitely increase subscriber count, but they don't know how much those short viewers actually views. Yeah. You're right. But I mean, there's no way that somebody catches that. Okay. Let's see if I can put this correctly. There's no way. Let me read the rest of your comment actually before I decide to spout my mouth off here. Which your shorts channel doesn't matter, but as someone. So the way that I think about that, right, is I got 54 people who subbed to my channel from shorts according to this thing, right? There's no way that one of those guys, just one, didn't decide to look at my long form content from that, right? Like the chances of that happening, there has to be at least one person who's been curious about my long form channel, my long form content after they viewed a short. It has to get me some exposure. I can't imagine that it doesn't, right? Now, I could be completely wrong. And you are 100% right. We don't know how much it contributes to it. But, I mean, honestly, the amount of time, now that I've kind of refined my process for making shorts, it's I can't imagine that it's not worth it. I mean, first off, making the shorts has become fun. I love making the shorts. Not to mention, on top of that, when I air the shorts and people downvote them because they're goofy or stupid, it entertains the living shit out of me. So that alone is worth doing the shorts. And then on top of that, I'm getting half of the amount of subscribers that I'm getting from videos in short content. So, and that's only going to go up as time goes on, right? Because my subscriber count, my subscriber rate has only increased as my channel's grown. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. The shorts, I think, have been lucrative. I can't imagine that the shorts haven't been lucrative. So I will continue with it. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as Twitch goes. I said this earlier when I was doing my Twitch recap. I really haven't done much with Twitch at all when it comes to any type of permanent content like clips or shorts or anything there because, they have such a minimalist retention for anything and you have minimal storage space. So I just don't bother with them. I remember fiddling around with it a long time ago, and I have a few like clips and highlights and stuff on there from that. But yeah, past that, no, not at all. So maybe I'll do a little bit more with that later. But to be honest, my Twitch like growth is embarrassing. It's embarrassing compared to my YouTube growth. So I tend to concentrate more on YouTube these days, despite the fact that I use Twitch still to generate my content. So this last year, I've published 932 videos, which is kind of fucking ridiculous. That's that sounds about right. 3 videos a day, nearly every day. So that's pretty good. As long as I get that 365 around that 365 times 3, that sounds about right. So that's 3 different videos for 3 different games every day, almost every day. Usually short on Sundays and Saturdays, depending on whether I stop streaming early. Shorts 115. That's only going to go up, right? I'm still not doing a full. I'm only doing 5 per week. Yeah. While I admire people who do pre-recorded, and pre-recorded content tends to be a lot higher quality, like Talion's content, or somebody who even does everything that I do with the face cam and everything like that. If they pre-generate their content and then edit it on the fly to put it up like that, it's going to be. I don't think they're gonna. Oh, god dang it, my voice. I don't think they're gonna have as much content, but I think they're gonna have higher quality content, right? Because when I look at my content, especially when I look at like my shorts specifically, I don't really have a lot to work on when I make those shorts because it's all taken from my live stream content, which doesn't have things that can be accommodated in pre-recorded stuff. Like I don't have, like, if I pre-recorded my stuff, I would separate my face cam video from my gameplay content. I'd have my gameplay content completely raw, so if I ever needed just a gameplay stuff, of course, the bad part about this is, of course, it takes infinitely more drive space, which I'm already kind of coming up short on drive space. My 8 terabytes up to, I think I have less than 1 terabyte empty on it, so. Oh yeah, no, I really like, especially when he's doing a game that I really want to, like one of the ones that I've been watching lately of his. I love when he does the point and click, so I've been watching his Kirandia ones, and of course I've watched all of his Monkey Island ones, so yeah, you can tell that it's definitely gone a lot uphill. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love his point and click stuff. Not as much on his like. I've tried some of his RTS stuff. Not my thing. I like watching RTS. Like watching you play RTSs on your stream. Those are fun. Those are fun. For some reason, RTSs seem to cater less to pre-recorded, not in front of a studio audience than they do when you actually stream them. RTSs are just a lot more fun streamed, if you ask me. Just my opinion. So, shorts. See, this is what I'm talking about. So I've only been doing shorts half the year, and I've got 95K views on my shorts in the last year, which is 3 times, almost 3 times as much as my videos have gotten. The exposure is just massive. There's no way that can't be worth it. So 932 videos, 115 shorts. Typical views first 28 days. What does that mean? A lot of these stats I don't look at, honestly. A lot of these stats I don't look at except for these reviews. Impressions and how they led to watch time. Data available December 28th, 2024 through December 27th, 2025. 3 million impressions. 87.7% of them from YouTube recommending your content. Let's see. Views from impressions, 21.7. Watch time from impressions, 647 hours. I mean, I think that's impressive. I don't know what it's like to have, big streamer number or big viewer, big content creator numbers, but I mean, all I can say is that people are watching my shit, and that just makes me happy. It really doesn't matter how many there are. There could be one dude just voraciously watching my content, and I'd be fucking tickled pink. Okay. How viewers find you. Shorts feed, 63%. See? This is what I'm talking about. 63% of the people who watch my channel watch it because of my shorts. What? I mean, yeah, sure. Not a lot of people are watching my long form content. But whatever. Yeah, I remember watching, who is it? Report of the Week, Review Bra. I don't know if you're familiar with his content. The guy that does all the fast food reviews, who always wears the 80s or 90s suits. And he was talking about when he was a small content creator, and he's like, I'm just happy, it's like for years I just did it because of the 100 people that would show up and watch my stuff. And with me, I mean, like I was saying earlier with my Twitch and how kind of like ashamed I am with my Twitch growth, because my Twitch channel is like infinitesimal, a lot smaller than my YouTube channel. The growth on it's just embarrassing, right? So the question is why haven't I switched to just streaming and airing everything on YouTube exclusively? And while a big part of that is the fact that YouTube is less accommodating than Twitch for live streams, the truth of the matter is I have an audience on YouTube, and it's just like maybe 5 to 10 people who regularly show up for my streams, and that's what really matters. It's like I would be completely upset if I switched over to YouTube and lost even a small fraction of those 10 people, So because of that, I just use it to generate content. That's it. I use Twitch to generate content for my YouTube, where I get the bulk of my growth. What's this little... Let's see. Short views are counted differently. Oh, this is just videos, though. So 34K. So all of this is up. 2.8 million impressions. And that's pretty much... I thought I'd be a little bit further than I am now as far as my growth. I thought I'd be cresting that 500, but I haven't yet. Let's see. Key moments for audience retention. I almost never look at these, because honestly, the information is just kind of dense for me. Ugh. Looks like this Neuromancer one. Above typical intros. So ones where people are more likely to stick around, ones where people are less likely to stick around. So this doesn't make much sense to me, because basically 2 of these videos, so we have 2 examples of, I guess, different degrees of audience retention, right? So this one right here is 49% audience retention, 49%. So it's one of the better ones. And then this one's at 26%, but it's the same goddamn game. It's the same goddamn game, just on 2 different days. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And you know, that's one of the things that I've noticed too, is that even when my growth, even when everything's slow, even when everything's going downward, right? Even when things aren't as spectacular as they are when they're at their most spectacular, it's still going upwards, right? Even when I'm at my slowest, it just means I'm growing the slowest. It doesn't mean that I'm not growing, and that's all that really fucking matters to me, is the fact that it's still going up. It just may not be going up as fast as I want it to, right? And that's what I try and keep myself from being too disappointed in. It's like, who cares? You know, it's going up. That's all that matters. How are viewers find your videos? Browse features, YouTube search, suggested videos. That's really awesome. I'm actually glad that people use my playlists, because I spend a lot of time organizing everything on playlists. Those are meticulously curated. I've even went back, like somebody mentioned at one point in time that my playlists weren't properly sorted. Like you couldn't watch all my videos in order because the playlists weren't sorted properly. And I went back and resorted all of my playlists, like every single one. I spent like 2 days going through every previous playlist. Top videos. Now, this is kind of annoying. Like, at one point in time, I was recording all of the logos and intros to every game that I would play, and I would cut those off from the regular game and then publish just the intros and logos, right? And still to this day, my top videos are like, I'm actually surprised Evolution is up there as one of my tops, but every other one is every other one is a logo. Double Fine logo, Budcat, this is for Psychonauts, so both of these are Psychonauts. 3 of them are for Psychonauts, oh my god. And then the Koei logo from Coliseum, which makes no goddamn sense. As a matter of fact, I'm sure if I did the detailed view, it'd probably be even worse, right? What the hell is that? Oh, yeah. So I guess I had a Evolution video just skyrocket. That's why it's at the top. So weird. So goddamn weird. So, let's see. Logo. That weird Evolution video that suddenly got 1 billion fucking impressions for some reason. That's so weird. Logo. Intro. Logo. Intro. Logo. Maybe I should start doing this a little bit more again. I do it for like any game that I play modern wise that has an intro now. I don't separate the logos anymore, but I still separate the intros, and I'll use the intros as the first video in any playlist. I do that because I'll take and use the title of the game that it displays in the intro for the thumbnail for the playlist itself, right? And that's fun. Shorts. Again, you can see when I started shorts, you can see that I'm getting... I mean, shorts are just up and down, dude. They're... Like, when I go through the weekend, which I don't post any shorts on the weekends, by Sunday, if one of my short videos isn't delayed, you know, sometimes they get delayed views, but if I don't get any delayed views by the end of the weekend, I'm down to like 200 views in a 48-hour period because the shorts have just trickled off to nothing. But sometimes I'll post I'll post a short on Friday, and like everybody will ignore it on Friday, and then by Saturday or maybe Sunday, people are like, "Hey, this short's awesome," and then you get a ton of views. There's my top shorts, which is the "What the hell are you staring at" on Earthbound, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? Give me a sec here. What are you staring at? Oh.
What the hell are you staring at?
Okay.
Just leave me
That's the stupidest fucking short I think I've made. No, it's not the stupidest one, but oh my god, dude. And that's my top viewed short. Go figure. Okay. I can't imagine that any of these other stats would be fun. Monthly audience, 50K. Subscribers. See, this is the stat that I love, right? And then of course the below it. So 28% more than the previous 365. So the amount of subscribers that I'm getting over the course of the year has gone up, right? So I'm 28% higher than I was last year, which means as long as that's positive, then I'm encouraged to continue, right? It's growing. That's all that matters. That's all that mattered. It's growing. If for some reason if I was still producing the same quality of content and those numbers started going downward, then I'd worry. But they don't. So new viewers, 92%, casual viewers, 7.3%. I mean, that sounds right, doesn't it? I don't know what the hell that really means, though. Monthly audience. Understand how frequently your audience returns to watch over the past year. So, and I'm sure that is extremely skewed by shorts, right? 92% new viewers. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be caused by people watching my shorts on my shorts reel. And when you look at the other stats, that kind of makes sense, right? Popular with different audience. What the hell are you staring at, dude? That is the weirdest fucking one to have. Like, even the is she wearing a pant is more entertaining than the what the hell are you staring at? Give me a sec. My sis is texting me. I don't know what the hell she wants. Okay. I know, Lee-Cross, it doesn't make any sense. Like the rhyme or reason as to which shorts become popular makes absolutely no sense to me. Like the ones that I find entertaining get no views, right? And the ones that I watch and I'm like, okay, I'm not even sure that I should have made this into a short, but then it gets fucking 2K views. What the hell? I guess my nephew isn't answering. I guess he isn't answering his phone. Yeah, so like, and I guess the good part is out of all of the short contents that I've flagged in clips from watching my own videos, I think there's actually only been one clip in the entire thing in the entire no, that's the wrong word. In the entire slew of clips that I've turned into shorts, I think there's only one that I've run into that I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to make that into a short because it was just so like, I think the big thing was it was so goddamn bland that I was like, yeah, that's But, and the rest of this information is interesting to know. Like, obviously, I get the bulk of my viewers in the daytime, which makes sense because I don't know. I don't know why that makes sense, but it's true. Which, it's kind of weird. You'd think that if they can join me if they can watch my videos around the middle of the day, you'd think they'd be able to make my streams, but I guess I should nitpick, right? I am happy that computer viewers are the preferred device type. I'm sure that'll probably change with shorts, right? Yeah, of course. And this right here, Lee-Cross, you were talking about shorts transferring into view time and not just subscribers, right? This stat right here is give me a sec. Okay. So this is where was I? Oh yeah. So this stat right here pretty much kind of verifies what you were talking about how a lot of shorts content isn't going to translate directly into view time for long form content, right? So, and this right here kind of supports a little bit both of that view and my view, as in exactly. So I still got 17% of people who are viewing my shorts on their computer. And if you ask me, that is a good like depth gauge as to whether or not they might move on to my long form content, right? Obviously the mobile phone people are much less likely to do that, because if you ask me, the ecosystem for shorts on a mobile phone are much more contained. But on a computer, that's not true. They're watching their computer, they view my shorts, which means all the other videos that they're viewing on YouTube are giving them suggested videos on the side. They're giving them suggested videos at the end of the content they watch. So my videos have a good possibility of showing up on those screens, on that 17% screens, if they watch my shorts at all, right? Which is awesome. I don't regret shorts at all. Don't regret them at all. And if anything, like I said, they're more entertaining to me than they are to anyone. I'm sure they are. This one's a little disheartening, though. This has, I think, gone up. 98.9% male audience. I should do something frou-frou that would attract more female viewers, but I wouldn't really know how. I mean, I don't mean to be inherently masculine, but that's just kind of how I was raised. I mean, I was raised in the era where, people would say things like man up or be a man or suck it up and all that kind of stuff. So I got that kind of ingrained in me, though I have no like direct predisposition towards manly things. I don't know if I should be playing some Hello Kitty or Barbie or something. I don't know if I did, if that would even be appealing to a different, literally zero. Yeah, so that's what I said. When I said that this has gone up, last time I looked at this stat, it was 0.0. So I got like 2 female viewers since I last looked at this. Which is entertaining. But I honestly, so I really wish that stat could be a little bit more equalized, but I think that it's kind of like the engineering field, right? It's like you look at the engineering field and the bulk of that field is going to be male over female, because for some reason there seems to be just a predisposition towards males going into that field. And you wish it could be equal, but it's just kind of the way it is. I think the gaming landscape is very similar too. I mean, I do watch a lot of female generated content on YouTube. I mean, it's the same reason why I play a female character when I play a lot of games. I mean, it's just a lot more fun to watch a female character on screen than it is to watch a male character, because I mean, that's just my preference. But yeah, no, I do think that that stat would be never satisfactory, even if I strove to gain female viewers. I don't think it would ever skew to a satisfactory level, because I don't think the viewership is out there, right? So, United States, 46%. I am happy that anybody in any other part of the world is viewing my content. That makes me happy. But it still is overwhelmingly the United States, obviously. Dude, every time, on the communities that I hang out in, every time somebody asks to critique their stuff and they have an accent, like any accent, not necessarily just a foreign accent, but like any accent, I'm like tickled, because I have to deal with like my average American accent, and I think that that's so unappealing. Like, if you even a Southern accent is something, right? A lot of the times it's people with like Scottish or Irish, English, German. One time I was watching somebody with a Polish accent. It's just so much more entertaining. I mean, it's just kind of amazing to get outside your culture, right? At least I've always felt that way anyway. Age group. This is kind of weird. So, again, as much as I think that this might skew in a certain direction, it probably never will. I think that this right here is pretty much a standard bell curve anyway. I think the bulk of the people that would be attracted to my comment or my content would be older gamers. So I have the bulk of my viewers in 25 to 34-year-olds, despite the fact that I'm 20 years older than that, 20 to 30 years older than that. But, it's fine. That's fine. I try and keep myself sounding young and not like an old man. That's not always going to stay that way. I'm sure as the next 10 years roll by, I'm going to start to look and sound even more like an old man. What am I going to do about that, I'm just an old guy. Let's see. United States top subtitles. No subtitles. I think somebody posted a picture the other day about subtitles that's like how autistics view media, and it's like, oh, my subtitles are on. I can't hear what they're saying. And it's like, I mean, obviously it's a stereotype. Not all, I'm not like that, but my nephew is. Like, he has to have subtitles on, or because he has the audio displacement disorder, right? So he doesn't actually hear the audio that he necessarily wants to hear to be able to understand stuff, and it makes it to where, like, when you talk to him, sometimes if there's ambient noise, he doesn't hear you, which kind of sucks. Trends, I don't even know. No. So I think we're done here. I think we're done with an overview of what we've done in the last year. Now, normally when I'm looking at my content, and I think I did this in my last review too, give you an idea of what I view. I normally leave this on 28 days, which right now my subscribers are kind of nasty. I think it's the same as the other one, though, in that I got more views than normal. Wow, that's down to 656 more views than normal. Yeah, you too, Leekros, and thank you for showing up. I certainly appreciate it. Have fun at work, and I'll probably see you soon, like on one of your streams if I can catch it. So have a good one. Thanks for showing up. Okay. So normally, just to give you an idea of how I check my stats, again, most of my attention is spent in this real-time box. I look at my subscribers to see if they've gone up or down. Normally, I don't really care as much about that. I really wish it was going faster than it is, but when it comes to subscribers, it's this over here that I look at. So what I do look at is my views in the last 48 hours. 740 is kind of average for me with the shorts. You can see it's kind of fallen off because that's Friday's short and other stuff. And then now it's Sunday, and remember I was talking about how if I don't get a late bloomer as far as my shorts content, then by the end of the weekend, oh, look at this. See, this is nasty, dude. I've gotten a few hours where people have viewed next to nothing. So, and it's the time of year is what it is. It's the time of year. Subscriber count's down. Watch time is down. 12.4 less hours. This is actually starting to subside. So it was a lot worse than this like last month around this time. And this is starting to kind of even out. I've had this as low as +8, which when you look at it, it's a little discouraging. But as long as it, like I said, as long as it doesn't go in the minuses, I'm fine. But I want to take a look at how my videos are doing. I tend to go down to my 7-day view because this will give me a more or a less skewed perspective of my top 10. However, I still get short. Wow, even one for 80 views the last month or last week. These Fool's Errands have been doing really good. I'm kind of surprised about that. I didn't think some obscure Amiga game would be doing okay, but it is. And then, of course, Logo. My God. Flat Out. Nice. Bugbear for Flatout. And of course, that Psychonauts logo is going to just stay there. I don't know why. Another one of my favorite views is see more on my real time. Tell me how I'm doing on my real time last 48 hours. You can see basically a bigger view of that last graph that was on the thing. Last 60 minutes, that's always fun. Not a lot of people watching today. As a matter of fact, yeah, my last 60 minutes on all my top videos are just kind of balls right now. So, Wild Arms, these Fool's Errands are doing so good, dude. I'm so happy about those. I almost stopped playing it this week, but decided to just kind of carry it, and I'll probably be playing it next week too. As a matter of fact, that's not a probably. I'll probably be playing it until I finish it at this point, because of not only how well it's doing, but how much I'm enjoying it, and how much I'm doing much better at it than I was last time I played it when I was a kid. So, and that's where we are. That's where we are with the recap. So,